welcome everyone. We're so excited that you've decided to attend this webinar today, and we have some very thorough information for you regarding Section 5 and risk-based risk management requirements. So I will be your trainer for today, and we're going to spend a good 2 hours going over a lot of full information. I will stop at different times for you to ask questions. Of course, feel free to put questions in the chat box, and during different intervals I will stop and answer those as well. So let me tell you just a little bit about myself. I have been in healthcare for 35 years, approximately. Now don't count on your fingers how old you think I am. But I have been doing research about 30 of those years. I am a nurse, and I've worked in a lot of different areas in research. I started out as a coordinator. I'm from the South, as you can probably tell, the South of the United States, and I was a pulmonary and cardiovascular coordinator, and I spent a lot of time as a CRA. I still do CRA work. I absolutely love it, and I audit, and I, obviously do training. So I've done a lot of different things in the research industry. I am not a data manager or statistician, so I'll make that clear right up front. Perhaps one of my best or proudest accomplishments is a mega trial that I did with about 17,000 patients, 1,200 sites in 50 countries. And some of the quality aspects that I'm going to be reviewing with you today were all employed within this trial. So I'm pretty familiar with the quality, the risk-based quality management aspect, and the trial was very successful, and I learned a lot through working through the process. I am certified as a CCRA, and I have presented a good bit. So that's enough about me. I'm going to ask you a little bit about you in just a minute, but I would like to review the agenda for today just very quickly. I'll be going through the learning objectives in just a minute. I do in just a minute want to hear your functional role and what you're currently doing, and I'll give you instructions for that in just a minute. And then we are going to talk about the new guideline, R2, and we're going to spend a great deal of time on Section 5, just plain Section 5, the end-to-end process. And as I go through some of the narrative from that process, I will be giving you a little bit more in-depth information about what it means and also some suggestions for successful implementation. Now, given the fact that we only have 2 hours today, I won't be able to go into extremely great detail, but we do have a lot of other webinars that get into detail on each and every one of these. At the completion of this course, you should be able to describe at least 2 new requirements for your sponsor's quality management of clinical trials. You should be able to identify 2 approaches to achieve compliance with quality management for the life cycle of the trial, and we'll be talking about the life cycle a little bit later, and then determine steps for evaluation and implementation of the new requirement within your organization. So if you would, just put in the chat box where you currently work so that I can get an idea of the number of operations people, compliance people, quality people, data management, etc. So just write it right in the chat box. Okay, we have a lot of people from quality here, global quality. I think probably I have met a few of you in the past. Some of the names sound very, very familiar or look familiar to me. All right. Now, if you would just tell me how familiar by saying not a lot, some, pretty familiar you are with ICH, GCP, E6R2, and particularly Section 5. Okay. So we've got people that have worked with this a great deal, some that are not familiar at all, and so we're going to kind of hit definitely what it says in Section 5 and then go through some other information. So hopefully we'll have information for those of you who are very familiar and give you some additional ideas as well, but we'll be giving you an opportunity to add as we move through.